call my wife to check in. She took a trip to the Dominican Republic with my daughter, and I missed them dearly. How's your day going? I ask with enthusiasm in my voice. It's still going. I'm hanging out with Julio. But it's 9 p.m. Why are you hanging out with your ex? She knows this is against the protocol of the church and our relationship. And where's our daughter? This doesn't feel right. But what am I to do? I've given everything for the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I've given everything for her. But I'm not about to stop now. Plus, Jesus is coming back soon. I knew that as a missionary, in order to secure my salvation, I needed to live a simple life. I needed to tithe. I needed to follow the pastor. So, I was obedient. I followed all the rules. But I was this way before I had joined the church. I'm 17 years old, and I'm sick as a dog, staying at my girlfriend's apartment. So I call my dad, say, Dad, I'm sick. I'm not able to teach the karate class tomorrow morning. Sick? You're not allowed to get sick. If you're going to take over the family business, you need to show up. You better be there tomorrow. Next day I wake up feeling sick, and I drag myself to the dojo. Parent looks at me, says, you don't look too good, man. I brush it off, I teach the class, head back to the apartment, and I collapse. I get a call from my father later that day. I told you it was all in your head. I knew you could do it. My father and I had a toxic relationship. Him, the karate grandmaster, and me, the forever servant student. Following his lead, always being obedient. I thought to myself, if I did everything he said, then one day I would be rewarded. One day he would see my worth. He would love and respect me. Growing up, I would hear him say things like, love? Pfft, love doesn't exist. Love is not real. But I kept trying and trying and trying. Later, I found out why my father didn't believe in love. He had a rough childhood. He was tossed from home to home, and he was treated inappropriately as a child. And now I can understand that, and I can even forgive. But as a child and as a young adult, I felt lost. I felt like I had no compass. So I gave him all of my authority, and I gave him all of my power. My wife comes back from the Dominican Republic. I say to her, we need to go to therapy. We get to the therapist, she sits us down. She asks me, Do you love your wife? With all my heart and soul. She turns to her. Do you love your husband? Silence. I love him, but like a brother. My heart sinks. Tear comes down my face. I feel like a failure. The therapist asked me, I want to talk to you privately. Says, Esteban, I want you to do something. Take a look at the mirror next to you, and I want you to say these words. I love you, Esteban. I can't. How can I love myself if my wife doesn't love me and my marriage is falling apart? The therapist responds, because if you do, then she can possibly love you. And so can everyone else. So I did. I want you to practice saying, I love you, Esteban. And I started practicing. And things started to shift. Things started to change. Where I used to say, your wish is my command, now I had some boundaries and I expressed my opinion. I wasn't always agreeable now. And sometimes our conversation had friction. I stopped being the follower. She didn't like this. So she filed for divorce, and I signed the papers. Life as a missionary did not pay well. I was broke. I had no money. I couldn't even pay my bills. I get to the door and I see a note and it says, if you don't cut the grass, you're going to get fined $100. It's a note from the city. I felt defeated. So I went to church hoping to find hope. I needed friendship, connection, understanding. And luckily, I meet Robbie. Robbie had a daughter, and he had recently gone through a divorce. So I shared with him my story. I told him that I was getting divorced. I told him I felt hopeless. I told him about the overgrown lawn. So I go home. 20 minutes later, I hear a lawnmower. I open the door, I go outside, and it's Robbie cutting my grass. I go, hey man, stop. I can't pay you, bro. Don't cut my grass. He says, who's asking for payment, brother? This is a gift, bro. He cut my grass. He gave me a gift. This was uncomfortable. But Robbie became my friend. And he supported me. But he taught me a key lesson. He said, you can be a father even without a wife. Robbie was an advocate for self-love. He taught me how to have a healthy relationship with myself and with others. Now I get to ask Esteban, what do you want to do? Since I quit my relationship of being a follower and this toxic dance of empath and controller, I decided I want to learn a new dance. Salsa. The day that I got my divorce papers, that same day, I bought dance shoes. And I learned how to hold my frame, learn how to guide others gracefully, and I learned how to take risk. write down all the things I wish to see in a partner. I want her to be accountable with her words, responsible with herself and others, loving with herself and others. So I go on a quest to become those things myself. Because I figure if I want that in a woman, I better have those qualities myself. So I did. Went on a quest. I see her profile on Plenty of Fish. So I ask her out on a date. We go to lunch. Then a movie. Then a pub with music. So we go to the bar. I order us some drinks. And I hear salsa. So I go, hey, let's dance. Oh, I don't dance. I said, don't worry. I got you. I know how to lead. That woman's here tonight. We've been married for 10 years. She's sitting right over there, somewhere over there in the audience. Hey, Sita, I love you. You're the greatest gift. Thank you, everybody.